A fallen comrade was taken into custody during a previous landing attempt. He was used as a bait to lure in other Navy SEALs to the snow-covered bridge of Takuragar mountain in East Afghanistan. Did they take the bait? Well, yes, but was it a successful mission? Watch ahead to find out. On March 4th, 2002, 6 brave Navy SEAls and a combat controller were flown in by helicopter to snow-covered ridge of Takuragar in eastern Afghanistan. Their mission was clear: to rescue a comrade who had tragically fallen during a previous landing attempt. However, the moment they touched the ground, the situation took a terrifying turn. Chaos erupted as they faced heavy machine gun fire coming from multiple directions at once. The soldiers found themselves in a dangerous and intense situation, but they didn't hesitate to stand their ground and face the threat head-on. At that moment, fear, courage, and determination must have clashed within each of them. Yet driven by their deep bond and commitment to one another, they bravely faced the danger, demonstrating the incredible strength and humanity that can emerge amidst the chaos of battle. Nevertheless, amid the chaos, the combat controller, John Chapman, displayed remarkable bravery and determination. Undeterred by the thick layer of snow, he fearlessly fought his way uphill, engaging the enemy with valor. However, as the intensity of the battle escalated, tragedy struck. John Chapman was hit and fell motionless to the ground. Faced with the risk of losing more men, the team leader made a tough call, ordering the remaining soldiers to fall back to the Chinook and evacuate the area. As the helicopter disappeared into the darkness, a surveillance drone continued to observe the battlefield. In a moment of astonishment, the drone captured something extraordinary. John Chapman, despite his wounds and seemingly unconscious state, regained consciousness. Summoning an indomitable spirit, he decided not to back down. With incredible determination, he took on the enemy single-handedly. This was unexpected and an extraordinary act of courage and resilience, a true essence of a hero. Despite facing overwhelming odds and enduring serious injuries, John Chapman's will to protect his comrades and fulfill his duty remained as strong as unshaken. His unwavering dedication to the mission and his fellow soldiers is a testament to the strength of the human spirit, even in the face of adversity. What followed next would be etched into the history as one of the most awe-inspiring acts of bravery during the entire Afghanistan war. Despite the disastrous start they faced, the team of 7 members embarked on a crucial mission to establish an observation post on a 10,000-foot mountain under the cover of darkness. Their objective was to support Operation Anaconda, a massive effort involving around 2,000 soldiers from various nations. The mission's aim was to drive Taliban and Al-Qaeda forces out of southeastern Afghanistan. Even before the mission began, the odds were stacked against them. The rugged terrain and the presence of formidable enemy forces made it an immensely challenging and perilous undertaking. But undeterred by the daunting circumstances, these brave soldiers forged ahead, knowing the importance of their task and the lives they were fighting to protect. The soldiers faced a series of challenging hurdles that put their skills and determination to the test. Technical issues arose during their mission, necessitating an unexpected change of helicopters. This unforeseen change added to the already immense pressure they were under. Furthermore, time was of the essence, with the approaching sunrise putting them in a race against the clock to set up the observation post in time. Adhering to military principles, they would have preferred to land at a safe distance and proceed on foot to the reconnaissance target, avoiding any potential enemy detection. However, an AC-30 had recently scanned the area with thermal vision and found no signs of enemy presence. This information gave them some reassurance, but the urgency of their task remained. Balancing caution with the need for swift action, they forged ahead, knowing that every second counted and that they had to rely on their training and instincts to accomplish the mission successfully. The leader of the reconnaissance team made a crucial decision to land the Chinook directly on the mountain, opting for a faster approach. Unfortunately, this choice had severe and tragic consequences for the mission. Unbeknownst to them, the insurgents, well-equipped and highly trained, had concealed themselves under the thick snow cover in bunkers. Upon reaching the location, the team was welcomed with fireworks as they came under a barrage of heavy fire from the hidden insurgents. The intensity of the attack overwhelmed the helicopter's electronic systems, causing them to fail, and a fire broke out on board. The situation quickly turned dire, jeopardizing the safety of everyone on board. In this unexpected and perilous moment, the soldiers found themselves facing a critical situation. The outcome of the mission now hung in the balance, as they had to summon every ounce of training and strength to navigate through this dangerous and chaotic scenario. Amidst the desperate attempt of the pilots to regain control of the damaged helicopter, tragedy was struck when an RPG struck the rear of the Chinook. Navy SEAL Neil Roberts lost his grip and was tragically thrown out the rear ramp during the chaos of the attack. Given the severe damage to the helicopter, it became clear that rescuing Neil Roberts from the immediate danger was impossible at that moment. The team made a tough call to execute an emergency landing about 6 miles away from the site of the initial incident. However, the unbreakable bond between these soldiers fueled their determination. They refused to leave their comrade behind and quickly switched to a new Chinook. Putting their lives on the line, they voluntarily flew back into the heart of danger zone to attempt a daring rescue. Upon reaching Takuragar Mountain again, the team faced heavy machine gun fire once more. Undeterred by the threat, they disembarked from the helicopter and took up strategic positions, prepared to confront the enemy head-on. At this moment of great peril, their commitment to the principle of no man left behind shone through. Their courage and selflessness were evident as they risked their lives to save their fallen comrade, exhibiting the extraordinary bravery and humanity that defines true heroes. The challenging icy snowfields and steep gradients, some as steep as 70 degrees, put the enemy in a strategically advantageous position. Despite the daunting circumstances, John Chapman refused to be deterred and was determined to rescue Neil Roberts at any cost. Calling in air support from an AC-130, Chapman exhibited remarkable resourcefulness and quick thinking. He knew he needed all the help he could get in this treacherous terrain. With unmatched courage, Chapman began his solo advance through the snow towards one of the enemy bunkers. The danger was immense, but he pressed on with unwavering determination in a moment of intense combat. He fearlessly engaged 2 enemies at close range, eliminating them and neutralizing the immediate threat. His actions exemplify the selflessness and bravery that define a true hero. Despite facing overwhelming odds and putting himself in great peril, Chapman's focus remained solely on rescuing his comrades. The extraordinary efforts he displayed in the face of extreme danger demonstrate the indomitable spirit of those who go above and beyond to protect and save their fellow soldiers. In the face of adversity, John Chapman's heroism continued as he and his squad leader courageously attacked another enemy bunker. However, this valiant effort came at a heavy cost as Chapman suffered serious injuries and collapsed during the intense fight. Despite their unwavering bravery, the soldiers found themselves at a clear tactical disadvantage, facing a well-entrenched enemy with superior numbers. Tragically, when another team member was shot, the squad leader recognized that pressing forward would only lead to more casualties. With a heavy heart, he made the difficult decision to abandon the mission and retreat from the mountain. As the SEALs fought their way back towards the helicopter, they faced the heart-wrenching reality of leaving their fallen comrade behind in the darkness. Chapman lay motionless, his injuries preventing him from rejoining the team. The decision to leave John Chapman behind was undoubtedly a deeply painful one for the squad leader and the entire team. The chaos and urgency of the situation may have clouded their ability to rescue him at that moment, but it is important to acknowledge the unimaginable toll such choices take on soldiers, as they strive to balance their commitment to the mission with the unwavering principle of leaving no one behind. Exhausted and unaware of the impending magnitude of the battle, the soldiers had no idea that what they just experienced was only the beginning of the most significant and serious conflicts American soldiers would face in Afghanistan. As the Navy SEALs withdrew from the battlefield, a CIA surveillance drone continued to monitor the enemies from above. Amidst the devastation of the kill zone, the drone operator noticed something extraordinary. In the midst of the lifeless figures, one person suddenly exhibited movement. It was John Chapman, who, against all odds, had regained consciousness despite his severe wounds and had not given up on the fight against the insurgents. Chapman's resilience and will to survive were nothing short of incredible. Despite enduring at least 2 potential fatal hits, he continued to fight on. In the darkness, he tried to reach out to surrounding friendly forces using his radios. A friendly combat controller and some special forces stationed him nearby heard Chapman's attempts, but unfortunately, their responses did not reach him due to the chaotic circumstances. At this moment of isolation and desperation, John Chapman displayed remarkable courage and determination. The subsequent events that unfolded would be a testament to the indomitable spirit of soldiers like him who refused to even give up in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. In the midst of the mountains of rugged terrain, an astonishing scene unfolded. It's not just a few, but a whopping 24 hostiles discovered that not all the daring Americans had bid their farewells just yet. Among them stood the heroic figure of Chapman, a warrior whose bravery knew no bounds. Despite already suffering from considerable blood loss, Chapman fearlessly faced an onrushing insurgent, displaying his unyielding spirit in the face of danger. But alas, enemy fire and shrapnel dealt him yet another blow, further testing his resolve. Undeterred, Chapman refused to back down, fighting on against a desperate onslaught of insurgents. The battle intensified, resulting in a gripping hand-to-hand combat situation. It was a fight for the ages, with Chapman defying the odds and emerging victorious. Even his wounds bore witness to the fierce struggle. In a daring turn of events, a quick reaction force comprised of 19 airborne rangers, a tactical air controller, and 3 para-rescue jumpers swiftly headed towards the mountain. Chapman, who had been battling the insurgents solo, heard the approaching helicopter at the break of dawn. Faced with a crucial decision, he had to choose between seeking safety in his partially covered position, hoping for an early rescue, or providing cover fire for his comrades in the air to ensure their safe landing. Showing immense courage and selflessness, Chapman made the brave choice to support his fellow soldiers. Despite fighting and surviving on his own for so long, he mustered every ounce of strength and charged towards the enemy one final time, drawing their fire away from the incoming helicopter. It was a moment of unparalleled bravery, as Chapman put his life on the line to protect his comrades. His actions showcased the true essence of a hero, willing to face danger head-on for the greater good. With a thunderous sound of gunfire and adrenaline pumping through his veins, Chapman exemplified the very definition of valor and sacrifice. In that critical moment, Chapman's sacrifice and courage etched an indelible mark on the hearts of his fellow soldiers and will forever be remembered as a testament to the unbreakable bond that binds soldiers in the face of adversity. And so, in the annals of history, his name shall stand tall among the legends of heroism and selflessness. In the midst of the relentless firefight, Chapman found himself with only 2 rounds left in his weapon, and a total of 16 shrapnel and gunshot wounds taking its toll on his body. Despite his unwavering determination and incredible resilience, fate dealt a final blow as a fatal hit struck his heart, and he bravely succumbed to his injuries. Meanwhile, the quick reaction force's Chinook helicopter came under a barrage of heavy enemy fire. Amidst the chaos, one door gunner fell victim to the onslaught and both pilots were severely wounded. In a heart-pounding display of heroism, they somehow managed to execute a daring emergency landing just in the nick of time despite facing RPGs and machine gun fire. As the rear ramp of the Chinook faced an intense onslaught of firepower from the insurgents, the courageous Rangers charged out. Undeterred by the danger that awaited them, tragically, some of them were struck by enemy fire as they exited the aircraft, sacrificing their lives for the mission. Undeterred by the treacherous conditions, the Rangers pushed forward, battling through 3 feet of snow on a steep incline ranging from 45 to 70 degrees. But that wasn't all. The insurgents had taken elevated positions with heavy machine guns and mortars, raining a hailstorm of bullets upon the brave soldiers. In the face of impossible circumstances, the Rangers showed unyielding tenacity, like true heroes illuminated against the snowy mountain backdrop. The air was filled with the deafening sound of gunshots as they pressed forward, hearts filled with bravery, determination, and that unbreakable brotherhood bond that ties soldiers together. With every step of the steep, snowy slope, they proved their unwavering commitment to the mission. Their spirits remained strong even amidst the chaos of battle, because they knew they weren't just fighting for themselves. They were defending their fellow troops, their country, and the values they held dear. The mountain's harshness paled in comparison to the soldiers' determination for victory. This was a true test of character, where bravery and selflessness shone brightly. They fought not for personal gain, but for something greater, the sense of brotherhood among soldiers and the honor of serving their country. Tragically, 7 soldiers lost their lives and 12 others wounded in the intense clash. 2 advanced Chinook helicopters with a ground radar were also lost during the operation. On the enemy side, approximately 200 fighters were taken out, revealing the sheer force the American soldiers had to confront. Amidst the chaos, a somber revelation came to light. Navy SEAL Neil Roberts, who fell from the helicopter early on, likely survived the crash only to be executed by insurgents before his team's return. John A. Chapman, a true hero, had initially been recognized with the Air Force Cross for his actions during the Battle of Takuragar. However, his unparalleled bravery led to a push for an upgrade to the Medal of Honor despite resistance from Marine Command. In August 2018, Chapman posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor and promoted to Master Sergeant, a brotherhood formed among the soldiers that no one else could truly ever understand. They faced unimaginable hardships and made the ultimate sacrifice for their comrades and country. The memory of these brave souls lives on, etched in history and in hearts of those who honor their valor.